everyone, Lillian here. The five takeaway from my cycling trip today. I just finished cycling for 4 hours. I think back and forth it was like in total about 40 kilometers, I guess. Let's go straight into the five takeaway. My five takeaway, because I've done this route before. I've done this with my husband before, but the first time that we did it, I had to have many stops, many pit stops, because it's such a long journey. The way up from Parkland Green to Changi Village, that's like 20 kilometers. So I had to take quite a number of pit stops along the way. That was the first time when I did it. This time around, I realized that I only took one stop, and that was because of urgency. There is an urgency because we started late. We waited for the rain to stop. So we started about 4 plus, almost 5 before the sky gets dark. So we want to reach Changi Village as fast as possible. So there was an urgency. So that's why we chong all the way, and I only took one stop. The takeaway here is that when there's urgency and you are focused in your goal, you just go, you just step on the accelerator and you just go. The urgency had made a difference to the results. And the second takeaway is that when you hit midpoint, halfway through the journey, that is the point where most people feel discouraged. Discouragement will set in. You are tired, you get weary, and when you look back, you can't see your starting point. And then when you look forward, you can't see your destination. You are like in between, and there's no turning back. Either way, if you go back, it's also a long way. So it's better that you continue. At midpoint is the most challenging. So the year may be coming to an end. Maybe you are at the midpoint of your journey to your goal in your life. Maybe you're halfway through your life journey, you're halfway through the journey of achieving your goals and your dreams. If you are at halfway point, this is the time where most people feel very discouraged. At that point, when I was at halfway point, that was the point that I took the pit stop. I took the stop at the halfway point. My butt was hurting badly, and I look back and I look front. It's like the road is endless and there's no stopping. So you just got to keep going. Third learning point is when I made the decision, because I made the decision to cycle all the way back. So the way up was 20 kilometers, about 20 kilometers, right? And I took one pit stop. So by the time we want to come back, we had some makan, some food at the Changi Village. Then, after we get our nourishment, we need to quickly cycle back because the sky is getting dark now. By then it's like 6 plus or 5 plus 6. I can't remember the time, but I know the sun was setting. I did a short video clip, recorded a short video of the sunset. It was beautiful, but because we were rushing to avoid being caught in the dark, so I made a decision to cycle all the way back non-stop. So that was a challenge. It was a stretch to me because on my way up with one pit stop, I feel the stretch. I already feel the stretch. It was very challenging. So to make that decision to cycle all the way back non-stop, I think I'm really, really stretching myself to the max. Anyway, I made that decision, so I went ahead and yes, and I did it. I did it. The learning point here is that your goal determines your action. Because I was feeling tired. I was feeling, my butt was hurting. I was feeling drained and tired, but I want to do it. This is a challenge I give myself and I want to do it. So my husband told me if you are tired, you need to stop. You just say you need a rest. But I didn't call for a rest. I just want to cycle all the way back non-stop and I did it. So your goal determines your action. Okay, focus on your goal and your action will align with your goal and you will achieve the results that you want. The fourth takeaway was that at some point in the journey, Matt instructed me to cycle on the road. because there's a park connector is on the inside, but there is also a cyclist path on the main road. And I don't feel comfortable cycling on the main road. My comfort zone is on the park connector. So when he asked me to cycle on the road, I got fearful. I was fearful because there were trucks and there were heavy vehicles, and I just don't feel safe. I push myself. I nudge myself to step out of my comfort zone and just go ahead and cycle on the road. It was scary to me, but I did it. I make a decision to step out of my comfort zone. So the takeaway is that there's always point in your life that you can challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. It is always about stepping out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. And the last takeaway was that I gained awareness about myself. I realized that, hey, I'm actually stronger than I thought. I'm stronger and braver than I thought. Okay. And I realized that I'm actually quite determined because when I decided to cycle all the way back nonstop, my determination actually helped me to achieve my goal, and I can motivate myself. I also realized that I can motivate myself because throughout the journey, I know I was like keep motivating myself that I can do this. Just keep going. Just keep going. Focus on the breathing and don't stop. Just keep paddling. Don't stop. And we're going to reach the destination soon. And if we can reach in a shorter time, that would be great. So I keep motivating myself. Okay, and I realized that I can stay focused if I want to. When I choose to, if I want to, I can actually stay focused because I think that I'm like pretty easily distracted. But when I want to stay focused, I can. And one more thing I learned about myself was that, hey, I actually can take risks as well. I'm also a risk taker. The part where to go and cycle on the road. I actually initially, when he asked me to do that, I I cycled for a short distance and then I actually turned in back to the park connector. Then he was like, "What? I asked you to cycle outside." So after a distance, tell myself, just come out. Yeah. So this is the five takeaway that I learned from this cycling trip. I'll see you again in the next video. So the next takeaway. All right, remember to inhale courage, exhale fear. All right.